This Week in Pharmacy, August 22nd, 2025. My name's Todd Urey, founder of the Pharmacy Podcast Network. This is TWIRx in the works. And we're going to jump right into TWIRx news for today. A lot going on in the world of pharmacy. But first of all, I want to give a shout out to the FIP, the Federation of International Pharmacists. Made some national news. It says FIP calls on authorities to think humanity, think pharmacy. I like that slogan. Think humanity, think pharmacy. Pharmacy meets people all over the world where they are. These community pharmacists are vital to people's health throughout the world. International report highlights critical role of pharmacists in disaster response. Global pharmacy body urges governments to engage pharmacists, essential actors in humanitarian and disaster response. I love this article. This is from the AJP.com. Once again, the AJP.com .au. And the FIP is having the Copenhagen 2025 FIP World Congress, and that's going to be August 31st through September 4th. We know that Katrina Azur will be attending. She's been a member of the Pharmacy Podcast Network for some time. We're excited to hear from her and reporting on that event. And there's just, it's a global thing. I know we're here in the States. I know that there are certain things throughout the country that are happening regionally. The impact to our entire country with pharmacy deserts and things shutting down. But there are other organizations throughout the world who are experiencing differentiations of view, different views, and about where pharmacy should go. And it's good to have FIP returning and supporting pharmacy from a global scale. So shout out to FIP in the Copenhagen 2025. Hey, up on news from Radio Iowa. It's the title of this article is Iowa pharmacists are in demand as they will try to fill healthcare provider gap. And a shout out to Dean Jill Kolsar of Kinsley Drug in Kinsley, Iowa, with UI grads Connor Clark in Porter Hummel. The dean of the University of Iowa's College of Pharmacy spent the past week visiting 24 pharmacies across the state, from Sioux City to Mason City to the Quad Cities. Dean Jill Kolzer says that the goal of the tour was to build relationships and get feedback to see how the college can support local pharmacies and the services they provide to Iowa's communities. Jill, you are a rock star to be out there with our independent community pharmacies and really digging in and then being able to apply that to what is the future of pharmacy education. What will the PharmD, what will their curriculum be, and how will it change? How will it evolve in 2, 5, 10 years? And bringing more community oriented and understanding what our community pharmacies are going through. I think that's a big strategy from the school's perspective. So a shout out to Iowa's College of Pharmacy. Great job being out there in the trenches of where our pharmacists are and our pharmacy owners. Hey, from Business Wire just came out August 20th, 2025. It says Nuvem continues to expand leadership team to accelerate pharmacy services model for community health providers. This is released out of Sharon Hill, Pennsylvania. And Nuvem is a leading tech-enabled pharmacy service for community health providers. Today, they announced the addition of 3 senior leaders across product engineering and finance. And the move deepens Nuvem's operational strength as it scales in response to increasing customer demands for pharmacy management services, combining expert guidance, advanced analytics, and software to help community health centers improve pharmacy performance and financial resilience. The CEO of this company is Scott Seidelman. Once again, Nuvem, which you can find more information about them. If you go to Nuvem, just look up N Nuvem. Once again, Nuvem, Nuvem, and they definitely will come up in your news feed and doing great things. They're not once in this description of their advancement of pharmacy through technology was the dispense word or the dispense operation really a very big part of it, if at all. What does that tell you? What does that tell you about being a pharmacist 2, 5, 10 years from now, and how your clinical expertise, digging down into serious disease states, complex disease states, and being able to answer questions, engage with the public, and be more of a hands-on provider? That is what's going to be happening to our pharmacy industry in all aspects, in our rare diseases, in our senior care, pediatrics. Shout out to Jenna Quinn, already doing it, Jenna, with Perfecting Peds, and a shout out to Tamara Rugels, already doing it in senior care as the ASCP, American Society of Consultant Pharmacists, lead consulting pharmacy at a national scale. I mean, this is the things that are taking place. A shout out to Nuvem. Thanks for posting this and bringing this to our attention. Exciting times. Hey, the NASP, the National Association of Specialty Pharmacy, is having their annual event on September 14th through 17th. Once again, that'll be the NASP 2025 annual meeting and expo on September 14th through 17th. It's going to be at the Gaylord Rockies, Denver, Colorado. And this is the leaders of our specialty pharmacy services and businesses across the country, technology companies, people that are really changing the game in specialty pharmacy. And we're excited to be a very small part of it, covering this with a 3-part series coming out. Hey, back here at home in Pittsburgh is the special event called the Veterans Pharmacy Care Summit 2025. This is in partnership with the American Veterans, the AMVETS, and the Pharmacy Podcast Network. We are helping to host this event. We are bringing 4 or 5 specific speakers together to speak about how pharmacy services differentiate for our veterans, and how do they differentiate, and what's needed, and what's missing, and where's the gaps, and is TRICARE controlling everything from a payment perspective, and does the VA need to loosen its reins of where a veteran receives services? Could we meet veterans closer to their home if, in fact, they could engage a independent community pharmacy or a certain health system pharmacist that specializes in issues that veterans are experiencing that might be tied back to service or PTSD or ADHD or something in behavioral health, and how are pharmacists leading in that? So very important that we do the very first of this. It's the Veterans Pharmacy Care Summit 2025. We'll be recording this, splicing it up, and giving it to our listeners over a period of time as well. A shout out to you pharmacists who do work with our veterans. If you want to be a part of this in any way, please reach out to me at publisher@pharmacypodcast.com. Once again, that's publisher@pharmacypodcast.com. Hey, this weekend we are headed to the National Association of Chain Drug Stores Total Store Expo and Discover Now, New, Next. This is an exciting event. This is their 5th time covering it as press and media. I love being here because it gives us a whole different flavor of pharmacy in communities, and it's more through retail strategies. It's more through technology leverage, and KeySource is our partner in that. They're going to be supporting our press coverage, and we're excited to be working with KeySource to gather interviews of how you are innovating. Can't get that word out. How are you innovating chain pharmacy throughout the country? This is a good time to get together with so many changes happening. Can't wait to see everybody at the NACDS Total Store Expo, August 23rd through 25th. This will be a good time. If you're going, please, we'd like you to join the show. We'd like you to come to the booth, and it'll be the KeySource booth, and meet up with us. So if you're listening and you are going to NACDS, please reach out to me once again. My last name, Yuri, Eury, at pharmacypodcast.com, or go online and fill out our contact information sheet on the Pharmacy Podcasts, pharmacypodcast.com on our website. Join us on this program on TWIRx. We are looking for innovative stories in pharmacy. How are you changing things in academia, in specific disease state management, in the use of artificial intelligence and technology? This Week in Pharmacy wants to feature people in the trenches doing the work. So if you'd like to be on This Week in Pharmacy, please reach out to me. It'd be wonderful to interview you. Well, that's it for TWIRx News this week, and catching up with you. A lot of new episodes on the Pharmacy Podcast Network that are out now. If you are not a subscriber, please go to any of your platforms that you like best. Go to Apple, Spotify, Podbean, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio. Look up these episodes and realize there's so much information being shared on the Pharmacy Podcast Network by fellow pharmacists and pharmacy professionals. We have a new series coming out, a new series update coming out, marketing information from people like the GRX marketing team. Pediatric Pharmacist Review just came out with a new episode, and our new PGX Pharmacogenomics host, Dr. Melissa Smith, and a recent episode about marketing and about how that's changing, and how Bruce Nealand is bringing 45 years of experience in marketing in pharmacy. And as an older gentleman in the world, how much he has kept up with technology, marketing strategies, and the need for our independent community pharmacies to continue to move forward with their marketing strategies. Up next is going to be a special interview on technology and the impact on specialty pharmacy. My special friend, who is a supporter and a sponsor of the Pharmacy Podcast Network, they've actually built our metric system, which is still being worked on. I'd like to welcome to TWIRx, Shaun Jensen. Hey, and welcome back to This Week in Pharmacy. Always returning to my roots. I like talking tech. I like talking about automation and systems and technology software. It's just, I nerd out in it, and what a time to be alive in the world of technology. Hey, I want to welcome back the founder of JB Consulting, Shaun Jensen, who I always use kind of as a gong to amplify things that are happening out in our world of pharmacy and technology. Shaun, it's good to see you. How are you?
Hey, how's it going, Todd? Great to see you as always.
All
Love the
right.
new studio too, by the way. Looks
Yeah,
great.
thank you. Yeah, new studio.
Awesome.
So summer's gone by way too fast. This means that when fall starts creeping in, not only is it back to school time, but it's back to conference time. And you and I are going to the National Association of Specialty Pharmacies 2025, the NASP event that happens every year. We've been covering this event for 4 years now, and it's just a wonderful gathering of those who are truly passionate about the future of specialty pharmacy. And of course, when we start scrolling through sponsors, we see a lot of organizations that are well-known, staples and supporters of the evolution of pharmacy, and more specifically specialty pharmacy. But the reason why I like you here today on TWIRx, Shaun, is to talk about true AI, and that is not the science fiction and not might what happened, but kind of like what's happening right now. There's a lot going on, and you have some interesting things to share. So I want to turn it over to you. Give us kind of like that case scenario of AI's impact on specialty, or other ways that you've seen it being used, where the rubber really meets the road.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, within specialty and pharmacy in general and healthcare in general, I mean, AI is having an impact everywhere. You're seeing so many companies that are doing workflow automation and just force multiplying. I mean, a lot of the focus, admittedly, I think has been on repetitive, predictable tasks that no one really ever wanted to do. Everyone kind of felt like a pharmacist's time was better spent serving patients better. A lot of AI has come in to try to fill that and try to do that. But and a lot of those, I mean, there's so many companies doing that successfully. Many of them will be at NASP. Um, I know Vic from Sphinx Technologies. He runs the AI subcommittee over there at NASP, and his company has a lot of great things too. He's a great person to talk to about it. But what we're doing here at JB internally, we've been helping out on a product that is helping business development and trade relations teams at the specialty pharmacy side. I don't want to say too much more because we're kind of helping somebody else build that.
Mhm.
But really empowering the higher level teams with some research to better position their pharmacy in the marketplace. I like to call it next generation, next level AI stuff, but I assume it's all kind of the same thing at the end of the day. But really, like not just to focus on the workflow, but also to focus on, if you had a whole team of researchers who really understood, how drugs are made, how they come to market, how they're commercialized, how the new, cell and gene therapies are going to impact things. A lot of that usually traditionally costs a lot of high dollar, high price consultant hours. This is stuff that like a whole team could kind of help the right individuals build out. So we're seeing AI and we're using it, to help with those kind of teams at the pharmacy. And of course, everywhere else, you're seeing so many companies doing that, but really exciting time for AI. And I mean, what we talked about last year, we were like, wow, things that you dreamed about a year ago are happening now. And like last year feels like a million years ago in AI terms. I mean, just what's happened in like 2025 alone is mind boggling. So really, really exciting. We'll see what's happening at NASP. It might be different than it is today.
Yeah, and it's good that know that you're returning. We got to have you be featured in some of our discussions. That's going to be a big one. It's going to be huge. We want to know the real world. We want to know what's happening right now, what's working right now with the leverage of artificial intelligence in specialty specifically. And one of the examples that just happened this week, Shaun, a report from Pharmacy Times, and the title of this report or this article is Adapting Oncology Pharmacy to the Age of AI and Drug Shortages, and how oncology pharmacists are playing a crucial role in medication reconciliation, especially in phase 1 trials, ensuring protocol adherence and data integrity. And this is, being pulled from pharmacy systems, workflow expertise, understanding where are the bottlenecks in shortages, and where are the medications that are running short. Where could we back up in the process and find the loophole, or find the place where now the medication falls into a shortage? But have you worked on anything in the marketplace that had anything to do with drug shortages?
Not necessarily myself with drug shortages. Certainly, med reconciliation has been an issue, since way before I was born. I mean, that's an issue. Technology has always been able to play, sometimes life-saving roles in. Um, but no, I mean, I know Blake Powers. I'm not sure if you've met with him, but he has a company that does a lot with drug shortages, and they use all technology to do it. It's really fascinating stuff too. But I've talked with him at some different speaking opportunities. Yeah, that's how I know him. But he's definitely one to look at if you're talking about drug shortages and how technology can solve that.
Yep. Yeah, the future and the impact of patient care in my
Imagine being able to build
assessment, and the assessment is based on just watching pharmacy evolve over the years, should give our physicians and pharmacists more time to collaborate on the complex situations and the chronic patients, and especially in the cancers section. And that's kind of exciting for us. We wait for the day that it's less about the dispensing of the medication, and automation has kind of basically taken that all over, and then really left the pharmacist to really dig into the individualism of how medications are impacting their disease, or their treatment, and how they're feeling, and the leverage of pharmacogenomics and understanding who's going to absorb or break the medication down and who isn't, just based on your your DNA. So that is exciting for us to hear from you, that you are working with organizations that are really using artificial intelligence, and how that's going to change. It's going to change the. It's already changed the world, but it's going to be on a fast track.
Yeah, it's amazing. I mean, so many startups are helping, even like the beta clients that they're getting are just, in weeks and months. Dev cycles that would have been years are months, and in some cases they're weeks. And it's fascinating to see that.
Yeah, a video posted earlier this week from Omnicell talks about how artificial intelligence is now impacting not only their production for their customers, but also building the pharmacy of the future, and the physical machines and how they're being built, and the leverage of artificial intelligence. Once again, it's just apparent that it's here, and it's not going away. This story, once again, it says inside Omnicell's Austin lab, building the pharmacy of the future with AI and robotics. This came from CBS in Austin, Texas, a report there, and it just goes to show you, Shaun, that once again, it's gonna impact every part. And I want to shout out to pharmacists listening, that there is an opportunity for you listening right now to leverage AI in some capacity to help you in your specialty. So if your specialty is pediatrics, geriatrics, a rare disease, something that you've really honed in on and have experience, artificial intelligence can really help you organize your plans, your treatments, predictive analytics on other patient data, and extracting as much data as possible. You and I have been talking about leveraging of data for quite some time, Shaun. What other ways are you seeing specialty pharmacy leverage tech to get a leg up and to improve operations?
I mean, that's been an age-old problem. One of the things that makes specialty has always been, unfortunately, the data collection and the burden of it. It just seems like everybody needs the same data. Everyone's always wanted interoperability to come in and solve that. And, the doctor needs information to submit the prior auth, and it's like a puzzle. Everyone has to put together a puzzle just to get this stuff through. So what interoperability was supposed to solve, and will ultimately probably still solve and is solving, would really kind of complete that data piece. But in the meantime, pharmacies are stuck trying to piece together, they have all sorts of systems, for therapy management, for digital engagement, for everything. You know how specialty works. It's not just dispensing it, like you said. So there are so many systems, so much data that has to be brought together. People throw bodies and entire teams at it. And you see pharmacies with data teams that are just supporting manufacturer programs and accreditation programs. And it's really, everybody wants the pharmacy data.
Yep.
Hopefully they can monetize that to some of those places too. So they're trying to just always get it out, but then they're the ones that are kind of left in the dark of their own data, ironically. So they don't have the capacity, they don't have the know-how necessarily in some cases. Like, they just don't have the time of the day to be able to take that data and put a business intelligence tool on it, put it in a warehouse, all the things they can kind of feel intuitively, like, this is what would be great to do. We've helped companies like pharmacies themselves who do that. We've consulted and helped them build that in-house with their own team. And then, they can have clinical folks self-servicing on a Power BI business intelligence tool and finding clinical insights that they wouldn't have found otherwise. And they don't have to go and submit trouble tickets and ask programmers to go build them a report so they can see it. It's like real time. The data is pumped right in. They look at it and there they are. And I mean, the trade relation teams, they don't have to send everything through IT. They can do, pull reports and get insights themselves. Like, it just frees up the whole company. And the IT team is the ones who are the happiest at the end of the day, because they can actually build cool stuff that they want to build instead of having to service, help desk tickets all day. So it's really a win-win for everybody with the data. But I just see, like, more times than not, especially with the independent pharmacies, like, they struggle so much with the burden of the data. Like, it's just a pain to pull it together and make sure it's right. And like I said, they throw bodies at it. And it's a shame, because it's like they're doing everything they can just to get it together, to send it out. Like, they're not even doing anything with it themselves most of the time. So it's something JB's been helping out with. It's stuff a lot of other companies build teams out to do that. Like, it's certainly an evolving space right now within the specialty market that all these big independent specialty pharmacies that are successful, if you look at their data capabilities, they're going to be, at the forefront like all the time. They're going to have portals that manufacturers can log in to see that data themselves. So they don't even have to ask, talk about self-service. Not even the trade relations team is self-service. Now their partners downstream are even self-servicing. They're logging in and checking out, number of fills and turnaround times and all sorts of stuff. So it's really, really exciting when a pharmacy can get a hold of their data and really throw the right tools and technology and people at it. And the technology doesn't replace the people. You still need a team that understands data and understands the value of it and how to present it. But from there, free up the technical burden and let everybody kind of get at it. It's, that's really, really a cool thing to see lately, happening more and more.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, listen, if you're listening, if you're a pharmacy owner, if you're running a pharmacy as kind of the point person, if you're in tech, specialty, long-term care, really any class of pharmacy, I want you to take a look at JB Consulting, reach out to Shaun, share with Shaun and the team what your challenges has been, what has been impeding you from moving forward or scaling, and is it a matter of special reporting? Is it a matter of some type of connection between two different pieces of software? Is it something that you imagined and you're not technical, so you really don't know how to build anything like that? Maybe you have a napkin that you drew like a little flow chart on. But regardless of what it is, I have seen some of the most amazing operational changes and creation of efficiency in pharmacy markets in every facet of it: hospital system, community, specialty, long-term care. I've seen it come from pharmacists who are in the trenches and understanding what's keeping them from moving forward. I want you to reach out, look at the case studies, look at the work at JB Consulting. If you go to jbconsulting.com, you can go to the section which says Our Work and start scrolling down and realize the impact that the team at JB Consulting has made to SureScripts, NCPDP, pharmacy billing integration and prior authorizations, to electronic health records, health insurance purchasing simulators, subsidiary calculator marketing tools that came from data from ACA and other pharmacy organizations. Just realize that your imagination is really the limit. So if you have something that you believe that you could help to co-create and reach out and get JB to tell you what it would take to get that done, do that, because you've been in this market, Shaun, over 20 years, and you've been building a lot of tech and software. So why not help more pharmacies?
Yeah, absolutely. We've been here for 20 years. I've been here for 25 years. And if you ever imagine, or if you imagine, like if you had a CTO who had been working in specialty pharmacy for 25 years and a whole team that could build basically anything you want them to build, what would you have them look at? What problems did you have? Because that's what JB is. We're that team to be hired, and we can come work for you. So we'd love the opportunity. If anyone ever wants to reach out, we're always happy to talk to anyone.
There are operation ideas that some of the listeners are thinking about right now that they would love to implement. They don't know how to get from A to Z and filling in the blank, actually make it happen. But stuff like that could become operational competitive differentiators between you and some other pharmacy, or you and some major contract, to put you in a position of competitive advantages. So think about that too, listeners. But JB Consulting, once again, jbconsulting.com. Shaun, thanks so much for being on TWIRx today.
Yeah, Todd, great to see you, and thanks for having me. I appreciate it. Take care.
Talk to you soon.
Feeling lost with the complexities of pharmacy accounting?
In pharmacy today, there's so many different, variables and issues that impact the pharmacy books, records, accounting, the profitability of the store, so forth. There's different components of pharmacy that have its own nuances from an accounting standpoint. And so it's tricky. There's no doubt about it.
Ready to take your pharmacy to the next level but don't know where to start? Sykes & Company is here to help. Introducing the RX Assessment. With the RX Assessment, the pharmacy CPAs and advisors at Sykes will do a deep dive into your accounting and tax situation and give you the action steps you need to take your pharmacy to the next level.
If you're interested in, working with a team who understands the industry and how the accounting and tax should really be in a pharmacy, this is your chance to get a under the hood check of what's going on and getting the feedback of any issues or concerns or, again, things we think you're doing really well with.
Get the financial checkup your pharmacy needs and head over to sykes-cpa.com or call 252-482-7644.
Hey, and on This Week in Pharmacy, this is the first time that we get to talk about this on the Pharmacy Podcast Network. There is an event bubbling, and it's coming in October, and I am thrilled about it. It's right in my backyard of things, and that is the Health Podcast Summit 2025. And I'd like to welcome the founder of this event, Dan Kendall, who is a rock star, a legend within the podcasting space in healthcare. Dan, welcome to TWIRx.
Thank you so much for having me, Todd. It's great to see you.
It's good to see you too. When I found this event, I think you had posted something on LinkedIn. I had a hard time concentrating for the rest of the day because I'm just like, this is finally happening. We're finally coming to our cohorts and in our profession and healthcare in general and saying, hey, listen, podcasting has come a long way since 2006. And it's really making a difference in communications and trust and authenticity and evidence-based consumption of content. And you're in it. You've created this. Share with our listeners about the Health Podcast Summit. And before you do that, tell them your background, because your background's fascinating in the podcasting space too.
Great. Thanks so much, Todd, for having me on and giving me a chance to speak to your audience. I've respected your work for years now. I encountered your network and the things you were doing in pharmacy and for pharmaceutical companies years before I ever started a podcast of my own. I've been 30 years in the healthcare space. I trained as an engineer. I've worked at the bleeding edge of technology, trying to work inside of operating rooms and with pharmaceutical companies to try to go beyond the pill or to create better devices that could help people heal or live better lives. And I started podcasting in 2016 to try to talk about some of the things that I was working on with various companies, really just to provide a service for the audience and to give some exposure for some of the great things that I saw that were happening, and that in some cases I had the privilege of working on with various people, or people that I just admired and I wanted to learn more from, and I'm sure that other people wanted to learn more from as well. So I created a podcast in 2016, and I did not realize that was going to open up a whole new world for content creation. Yeah. So that led to the formation of my company, Mission Based Media, that eventually led to the formation of Health Podcast Network in 2020. We launched that in January 2020, right before the Chief Transformation Officer of COVID hit the scene. It was real good timing in terms of a lot of people were looking for podcasts at the time that we were launching that. And then we have just continued to grow, to work with various companies to teach them about the impact of audio and podcasts and the ability to affect the soft tissue between people's ears, and try to help those listeners affect change in their own lives, the people that they care about, and the people they're caring for.
I love it. And so talk to the listeners who might not be watching us on YouTube, but talk to us about the Health Podcast Summit. Like what's the mission of this event?
Great. Thanks for asking about it. I was really excited when I got your email that you had seen what we were working on and your interest in supporting it. We decided earlier in the year that we were really troubled by some of the trends that we saw in healthcare: misinformation, disinformation on the rise, a lot of influencers and people who were really disparaging the industry that I've worked in and love so much. And I know there are really great people who are working to do great work and affect change in people's health and lives. And I got very concerned about the rise of social media and the inability of traditional media and some of this new screen-based media of really being able to tell stories completely and really inform people about the details and nuance of new science and information that can help them live better. And I realized that podcasts are a very powerful way of doing that. I've been listening to podcasts since I had this 80 gigabyte iPod back in 2005. Had to plug it. I can't power it up to see what my playlist is, but I've been listening to podcasts for about 20 years and been a big promoter of this platform. And I realized that we needed to get healthcare more aware of the great work that is being done by organizations like yours and the people that you're working with. So we decided to create the summit to really elevate, amplify, and demystify the role of audio and podcasts in healthcare communications. So that, in summary, is really the goal: elevate, amplify, and demystify the role of audio and podcasts in healthcare communication.
Shout out to our listeners, my favorite providers, pharmacists. If you are a content developer, if you thought about starting a podcast, if you have a podcast, you got to make this event. I want you to go to summit.healthpodcast.co. Once again, that's summit.healthpodcast.co. If you can't find the link, just come to me. Look at the show notes. Dan's information is going to be down there. We're going to put a link into Dan's LinkedIn as well. Dan, we got to have you back on This Week in Pharmacy and give a couple more little tidbits about this event. Like I said, it's Christmas Day for me. It's December 25th on October 1st because I can't wait to hear the speakers and dig in. And I think this is going to help us as an industry to mature. I'm not about podcasting 101 anymore, right? I'm about podcasting 501. And I'm about taking this media and this ability and to really help to accelerate change and making things better for our patients and people that rely on healthcare providers. And shout out to you, Dan. You're a rock star, like I said, and I appreciate you and admire you for putting this together.
Todd, if I could just share a couple more details then for you and your audience, just to make sure that everybody understands what they can get when they go there. First of all, you can go to healthpodcastsummit.com if that's easier to remember, and then that will forward you to the URL that Todd gave. So healthpodcastsummit.com will direct you right there. This is free to attend. We did not want there to be any barriers from keeping this information from accessing, from people to keep anyone from accessing this information. So there's no cost to attend. It is all virtual, so you don't have to go anywhere, and it is all going to be available online after the event. So I know there's some holidays around the 1st and 2nd of October. I know some people won't be able to attend because of that. It's okay. Just register, and you'll be able to access all 30 plus speakers after the event at any time you wish. We will also be publishing this as a public podcast and a YouTube video channel, but those will be streamed out over weeks. So if you want access to all 30 plus speakers, please go to healthpodcastsummit.com, put in your name and your email address. You'll get access to all this information. So hope that you'll come and learn more about how to elevate podcasts in healthcare.
Dan Kendall, thank you so much for being our guest on TWIRx today. We can't wait to hear more. We're going to be promoting this up until and throughout the rest of the year, actually. So excited to be a little part of this. Thank you.
No, thrilled to have you as a partner. Thanks so much, Todd.
All right, we'll be right back here on TWIRx. Hey, welcome back to This Week in Pharmacy. Hey, we have a lot going on right now. Is so excited that we get to be part of the NACDS, the National Association of Chain Drug Stores Total Store Expo 2025. That's going to be a lot of fun. We have interviews lined up to dig into the future of chain pharmacy. How's chain pharmacy going to impact communities that have lost pharmacies throughout that community? And where do we go from here? So be on the lookout for that content coming out on the network. Today on TWIRx, I'm excited to talk about, for the first time, this is happening. This is the first of the conferences, the Explore by PrimeRx User Conference 2025. This is an exciting dive into the technology that is going to set the stage for the next generation pharmacists and pharmacies and community pharmacies and long-term care pharmacies. I want to bring to This Week in Pharmacy to the stage, Caden Maida. It's so good to see you. I'm excited about this conference. Welcome to TWIRx.
Hey, Todd. It's always nice to talk to you. You keep on hearing about where you have been and what experiences you are doing. And, obviously giving us a chance to talk to the subscribers through this platform. Nice to be here.
Absolutely. Thanks for being here. Thanks for making this time. I know every time I reach out to the team, God bless Pia helping me to nail you down in the conference, in your schedule, how busy you are. Thanks for making this time for us. I want you to tell our listeners what's special about the Explore conference. It's a first of its kind. You guys are talking about technology, AI, the future of where pharmacy's going. Talk to us about this event.
I think I think actually, honestly speaking, we are a little bit late to this particular area. We've been one of the top vendors in the country, but we have never really organized a show. So this was our first attempt to, or this is our first attempt to bring all our users together. And we are doing this in the heart of the city. We did a heat map to see where most of our customers are, and obviously New York, New Jersey is the area where majority of our users are, and that's the reason why we decided to do it in Jersey. One of the things that is different about this is, instead of, I see conferences happening all over, right? And people traveling, making the time to get out of their business and go into the trade shows. And that's certainly appreciated. But the reason why we wanted to do it near is so that way we can have most of our users, who are running their business on a day-to-day basis. They don't have to leave their businesses consistently and just be traveling somewhere. We did it over here so that way they can attend. We are also hand selecting the vendors that integrate with our solutions and are helpful to our pharmacies. We are inviting them to the show so that way our users can see what other pharmacies are experiencing, what are successful pharmacies doing to take advantage of PrimeRx. We are also bringing in a lot of speakers. So the content is very intentional. We are trying to provide information on how can pharmacies actually take something back from the show and make an immediate impact to their pharmacies. So how to use PrimeRx in the most effective way. What are some successful pharmacies doing about retail? What are some successful pharmacies doing about LTC, specialty? How do multi-store owners operate in an environment where they are using some of our products like Prime Central and using the aggregate reporting to make business decisions? How do the transfer of patients happen between those orgs? We are also showcasing some of the newer technologies that we are working on. So we just got certified with RX transfer. So this allows pharmacies to basically bypass the fax and just use electronic transfer method that is supported by the newer script standards. So on and so forth. There's a lot of content that we are focusing on that allows them to take a different look at their pharmacy operations and make an immediate impact. So that's something that we are focusing on. So it's really, the theme is to explore how can things be done better. Instead of focusing on issues like, the PBM issues, etc. Those things are going to be in the industry, and we don't think that that's just going to go away immediately, just in a matter of couple of months or something. So we are saying, what is it that we can do immediately to impact the businesses?
Yeah. And that makes sense. And I'm excited about your keynote speakers. You're bringing in Mark Ive. He's the Senior Vice President and Chief Operating Officer over at the NCPA. And then a very experienced executive who helped to build the next generation of what happened through the SoftWriters days and Framework LTC and the evolution from private to having backers and the stress that it was put on the company. And really give a big shout out to Tim Tannert, who's president and founder of Culture Cures. And big speakers, big opportunities for your attendees to learn from these guys.
Oh, absolutely. I think NCPA has always been up ahead in understanding the state of the pharmacy. They typically take out the digest. They are looking at this industry as a whole rather than just from one particular angle. So we thought that bringing someone as experienced as Mark on the stage as a keynote speaker would definitely help. Mark has a lot of experience, not just from the NCPA, but also in leading the various types of pharmacies and in the various organizations that he has represented. Tim is someone that we respect and value a lot. I mean, he's really been instrumental in understanding, or rather helping us understand how the business of pharmacy can be managed through the software, right? So he's very, he has a he has a method. It's called EOS, Entrepreneurial Operating System, and he is a champion for that particular organization because he speaks in terms of what is it that you can do, how can you set up your goals and break it down into small rocks, and then how can you achieve your rocks by putting into practices some of the methods that big chains and big organizations are using, right? So and not to mention that he has led a software company before, so he understands the pain at our side also. And then being a pharmacist himself, at least he's worked in several organizations where he has used his clinical expertise, his organizational expertise. So we thought just bringing them on board would give the pharmacies a different perspective of the things that are to come, and then what is it that they can do now, and how can they manage their pharmacies better.
This is great. All right. So we have special announcement today on TWIRx. This is the PrimeRx event. This is the Explore by PrimeRx. We're excited to see this help our independent community pharmacies thrive and grow and do other things to make money other than just relying on that dispensing fee. Once again, it is the Explore event. It is the PrimeRx User Conference 2025. It's October 10th through 11th. It's going to be at the Western Jersey City Newport. Caden, really appreciate you coming on TWIRx this week to share this news and to share how you're helping to innovate community pharmacy and help to put technology in place of so many things that the pharmacists and the technicians should not be working on. They need to be paying more attention to the patient because that's where the money is, and that's where healthcare is. It's the patient. But really appreciate you coming on today.
No, absolutely. And I think the one thing that I can leave the subscribers with is that this is not a money-making art for us. This is not something that we are trying to create a show so that way we can make money from this. This is rather an investment to our users, so that way we can bring all of them together and we can bring in these engaging speakers and the content and the location, and just basically understand what is it that we want to do for the next year, 3 years, 5 years kind of scenario, right? So we have, as I said, users who are speaking about LTC. How can a retail pharmacy have 2 NPIs, one for retail, one for LTC, and make more revenue? How can they improve patient engagement through use of AI? We are going to show them or introduce them to our newest cloud pharmacy management system, PrimeRx Cloud, and all the cloud-related modules. We're going to talk to them about what we are doing for delivery. How are we working with someone like Uber Health to introduce delivery, and vendors that we are already working and integrated with. The best features in PrimeRx, how to use them. We are going to talk about inventory and DSCSA and how to intelligently comply and get a hold of their cash flow by managing their inventory effectively. We are also going to talk about PrimeRx Market. This is the procurement side or the purchasing side of the drugs, and how do we enforce contract compliance and still make sure that they are able to add more to their bottom line. Essentially, we're going to talk about care plans, the roadmap ahead for medical billing. We're going to have some senators come in to talk about legislative updates. So you see, it's not just a show that's put in like we are telling people to, hey, this is the ticket price and we want to make money off it. No, we are actually going to invest more into the users, and that's what this is about.
I love it. And that's the survival of the profession that you and I serve. We have to be there. We have to show up. We have to be real. You've been around for, I don't want to give away your age, but 30 plus years in this. So you've definitely been invested, Caden.
Absolutely. And this is something that I love. I don't think of this as a job. I wish I was doing this much more longer than I'm currently doing, but like I love being a part of this particular industry. Engaging with pharmacists is the ultimate sort of validation to what we do. This is a highly educated group of individuals who've gone through not only a lot of study, but gone through coaching where they are coached to take care of people. it's a very different group of people, right? So being just amongst them and understanding their pain and like knowing that you can solve some of those issues by use of appropriate technology is something that really gives us a lot of wind beneath our wings kind of scenario. So I'm always happy to serve pharmacists and serve this industry.
All right. I'm excited. We're going to be watching this. We're going to be covering it maybe after the conference as well. We'll have to get you on and do a summary. But thanks so much for sharing with us on This Week in Pharmacy.
Absolutely. Nice to be here.